Of course, if you don't know, now you know. I am Pastor Kevin, and I am always blessed. I tell you, I'm excited. I am always overwhelmed with joy when I receive this opportunity. And of course, today is no different. We are doing what we love and love what we're doing right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. And with no further ado, I tell you, I'm excited because he's excited, and we want you to be excited as well. I have one of our featured authors on the line, and I tell you, I'm excited for him. Jeremy, God bless you, man. Welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. How are you today?
Doing good. Yep.
Do it. You know what? You are a man of many words. I tell you. You know what? I'm excited for you, man. And once again, welcome back to the GMAP Broadcast Network. Do me a favor. There's some out there that's just tuning in for the first time. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from, if you don't mind.
Well, my name's Jeremy Biesecker. I come from Northeast Pennsylvania. I used to live in the small village of Gibson. Now I moved to, well, it's not exactly any specific town, but close by. And I've always been an illusionist, a Christian illusionist or a gospel illusionist, as it's often called, doing it as a ministry in different places. And in recent years, I also became an author.
Wow.
I developed kind of an interest in books after reading the Left Behind series. And eventually, it was one day, God gave me a dream that actually gave me an idea for a story. And little by little, I started writing it until it kind of developed into my first book, and later a sequel, and then I kind of reformed them, made second editions just recently, and I got part 3 that I'm working on now.
Yeah, well, I'm loving that, man, and I tell you, I'm excited for you, and I know you have quite a few great publications out there for people to show their love and support. Tell us about the one that you want to focus on this afternoon. Tell us about it if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, the one that I'm focusing on today is not like the others. The others are fiction books. The one that we're talking about today is actually a book about a certain place. Like I said, I'm an illusionist, a Christian magician, and I performed for many years in Word of Life, at Word of Life camp up in Scroon Lake, New York, in the Adirondack Mountains. And I actually spent 12 summers performing there, and I had been there for quite a few years before that on visits. And so it's a very special place to me that I've really grown, I've developed a real liking of it and a real interest in it, especially on the history of the places. It's 3 or 4 camps, and over the years I've just developed more and more interest in the place and their history, the way they've changed over the years, the way camp used to be versus how it is now. And it was about, probably 2017 maybe, when I first had the idea of writing a book about it, a book about the history with pictures and things about it throughout the history of the places. And at first it was basically just a wild idea that I didn't really think was going to happen. I mentioned it to a few people, but it still seemed pretty unlikely. But for the next year, I continued thinking about it and praying about it, and then it was the summer of 2017, I started asking everybody there, people that I knew, what they thought of the idea, and almost everyone that I talked to loved the idea, but I still wasn't sure. And so then I began praying that either God would open the door wide open on the idea, or that he would close it tight, so that I would know whether or not I should do it. And there were 2 critical things that would be required to do it. One, I'd have to have assurance that I could sell it at the bookstores there. And most of all, I would have to have access to the archives where they store all their information and old photographs and stuff.
Right.
And I found out from the librarian that stuff is kept in a very security tight, I guess you could say, room in the library. Almost nobody had access to it, not even the librarian. And based on what he said, it seemed very unlikely that I would ever be allowed in there. But I found out who was in charge of it, and so one day I took a drive to headquarters to meet with him, and I don't think I had ever met him before, but he was familiar with me, with what I do. So I told him the idea, and he wasn't exactly all excited about it, but he was at least open to the idea. And to my surprise, he was willing to give me access to the archive room.
Wow.
And so that was kind of what I felt was the go ahead to
Yeah.
do it. And
Yeah.
he couldn't guarantee that they could be sold in the stores, but that they would if it turned out to be good quality, basically.
Right.
So I felt that that was God giving me the go ahead.
Yeah.
And so I went to work, did a lot of research, a lot of interviews. I actually met quite a few people who knew the history. So I did interviews, and some of them even gave me old photographs of theirs to use. And it took a lot longer than I was originally expecting. I was originally hoping to have it ready for 2018, but it was not finished yet. And so that summer I actually collected even more information and photographs. And so it was finally finished for 2019.
Right.
And so that was a huge project. I think it took close to 1,000 hours or so.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a long time
Well,
between in. It was hard.
I want to find out what up to this point. What type of response have you been receiving? Not from those that are really supportive of you as an individual, a person, a friend, a family member. But I want to know what type of support you've been receiving from those that are from the outside of your connection.
Those who have gotten the book you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to know what type of response that you have been receiving from them up to this point.
Well, people have really liked it. Some have said they appreciated it. People have commented that it was quite good, and so yeah, people have liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hard to sell since it's just about the specific place.
Right.
But there are certainly lots of people. I mean, there's several thousands of people who come there each year, and
Yeah.
so there's certainly plenty of people who know about it. I
Right.
had no way of knowing just how many of them would be interested in getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's people who I expected to be interested who are not, and vice versa. Some
Right.
people I would not have expected who are. And so, kind of the way things go pretty much all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that and when I look at that scenario, I know for a fact that if there's a few thousand people that may come through the camps over the years, um, I I'm almost positive that they would be more than interested in receiving this publication specifically. Just to learn more about the history, how the camps came about. It's a keepsake for them. It's a treasure, and I'm sure that for those that are taking time out to visit that location, they would appreciate something like this. And we're going to try to encourage others to do the same. Now, when you look over it and you look at the process and what you've been through and how it all came about, what's next after this? I mean, where do you go from here with this specific publication?
Well, it's been a couple years now, and so I'm thinking about possibly creating an updated edition of it because the place has actually changed some since it came out. In fact, I've been surprised in recent years all that they've added to it. It seems that during COVID, they camp closed down for a year or two from
Mm-hmm.
COVID,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of gave them a chance to work on upgrading their facilities and making changes to the place. And so there's actually several items in the book that could be updated. And so I'm thinking about possibly creating an updated edition of it. I haven't decided for sure yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Well,
I'm think,
I think that's already been determined because when you let something like that come out of your mouth, it's a done deal. Now people are going to encourage you, Jeremy. Why don't you do a part two? Why don't you do a second edition? Why, give us an update. Give us a revised version. So I think, in my personal opinion, Jeremy, I'm just going to be encouraging to you. I think that would be an outstanding idea for you to do.
yeah, probably. I'm actually taking a trip up there next week. I was up there last week also, and I may try to do some more interviews next week. Maybe see if I can take a couple new pictures, perhaps.
Yeah, outstanding. Now, I know that there are some that are out there that are tuned in and/or will receive a copy of the rebroadcast. Uh, um, if they wanted to purchase a copy of it to read it and learn a little bit more about it, maybe learn a little bit more about you, what would be the process for them to do so? How can they receive a copy or download it or stream it?
Well, it can still be found on Amazon, but the best way to order it at this point is basically to contact me. It's also listed on my website, I believe, along with contact information. Uh, so it can be purchased on Amazon, but the best way at this point is just to contact me directly.
And what would be that process? I mean, how can they reach you?
Best way is by email or by filling out the form on my website. There's a place for contact to contact on my website.
And your website is what exactly?
It's www.illusionswithjeremy.com.
www.illusionswithjeremy.com.
That's it.
And for those that don't know, of course, Jeremy is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. We encourage you to simply stop by, click on the tab that is titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of this publication as well as other publications that Jeremy has released for the people. Click on either one of those publications. It will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publications released. We encourage you to do so. I know that Jeremy is filled with excitement. And of course, I got to let you know on Friday, he's going to be here as one of our featured author spotlights. And of course, that is a program that we do each and every week, allowing you to tune in and ask questions, find out more intimate information. I may miss a question or two, but you may have one. You can tune in on Friday between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Jeremy is going to be our featured spotlight author, and we encourage you to share, to tune in, to ask questions, to call in. It is going to be an outstanding opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about the publications that he has available, and of course, a little bit more about the author and, what it took, what's the process, and where does he all go? Where does it all go from here? So we're going to encourage you. And Jeremy, we know that you have our number, so we want you to keep us posted on what you have coming up and, some of the publications that you may be working on. Maybe you may be doing an event, stopping by, doing a book signing, whatever the case may be. Let us know so we can be a part of that process and assist you. Let us know. Call us. Hey, Kevin, I got this event coming up. Can you help me out? You don't mind letting the people know? And the answer is always going to be yes. And you will never have to ask me twice to do that. Okay? Just want to let you know.
Okay.
Oh, you are so laid back and calm. And we encourage you to stop by GMAP, support our featured authors. Specifically, we want you to, look into Word of Life camps. We encourage you to encourage him to continue to do what he has been blessed to do. And of course, we're going to do everything we can to keep you informed. Once again, live here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. One of our featured authors, Jeremy, is here. And we want to encourage you once again, tune in on Friday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we'll be here and getting more into detail and allowing you to ask questions and get into detail as well. And I tell you, I'm excited about that. We want you to be excited. Jeremy, I just can't thank you enough. And there's so many exciting things coming up. I'll be keeping you posted. I'll be giving you a call, letting you know what happens from here. But we're going to make sure we share this information with people around the world. And, anything we can do, Jeremy, just let us know. And we're going to make sure we get it all taken care of for you, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, Jeremy, one of our featured authors here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, we appreciate you. Look forward to hearing from you soon. You continue to be blessed and be a blessing to others, and we shall talk with you later, all right?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Take care. In the meantime, peace. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Yours truly, Pastor Kevin, on the #1 station in the nation, GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com.